What up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Pretty Girl Progression Podcast. I am your girl, Sherelle. If you are new here, welcome. I hope you stay. And if you've been here before, girl, welcome back. And as always, I hope you like, comment, and subscribe. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Ladies, I have created a free ebook, 10 Tips to Personal Development, where we talk everything about grounding, doing your personal work, your mirror work, and just self-love. I've also created a daily devotional, and you can pick this up at www.prettygirlprogression.com today. All of these things help go towards the channel as well as putting on amazing events for our ladies. Now, speaking of ladies, I have two amazing women who I've been waiting to sit down with because I have been binging their series on YouTube, okay? We have CapiShe Production Company, Black-owned indie film company, and writer, producer, as well as making opportunities for people of color. We have Shelley Miller and Tanya Williams. Give them a round of applause, y'all.
Hello.
I'm going to ask, ladies, how are you feeling and how are you doing today?
Good.
Good. A little nervous.
Why are you nervous? Have you been on a podcast before?
It's always like talking about, like
ourselves,
yes. our work. It's just always like, but let's get into it.
Yeah, take your shoes off at the door. Like,
yes.
Literally, I ain't got no shoes on right now. So just take your shoes off and just enjoy, okay?
Okay, very good.
So, good. Relax.
So for the people who do not know you guys, just tell us, as individuals, tell us a little bit about yourself, where you're from, and what you do.
Okay. So I'm Tanya.
I'm Shelley.
Mm-hmm. We are from South Florida, Pembroke Pines specifically. Mm-hmm. Some people don't know where Pembroke Pines is. So if you know where Miami is, and if you know where Fort Lauderdale is, we're like in the middle.
Yeah.
So, we are from South Florida. We are Florida girls. What do? I am a pharmacist
by day,
writer by night, filmmaker on the weekends. Filmmaker all the time because a lot of stuff happens behind, the
scenes,
right? Mm-hmm. After work all the time. But yeah, so that's what I do. Shelley.
I don't even know what to say. My job's so weird. I work for a law firm. I mean, who cares? I'm an actor. I'm an actor, producer, writer.
Yep.
I mean, writer. But
she's writing.
I'm writing.
Sure.
We're definitely writing. And we just love doing it together. We're real life sisters, same mama, same daddy.
Correct.
So
yes.
Yeah.
We're both married. I just got married in January.
I've been married for this will be year 11 now. Yeah. So
hallelujah.
Hallelujah. Okay.
And we just make the filmmaking happen whenever we can.
Yeah.
However we can.
First of all, I love that you're sisters. I have two sisters. So I want to ask, okay, so you guys are sisters within the film world, right? Did you both want to do this or did one do it? Who's older? Who's the oldest? Okay, so did you do it and then she was like, Shelley's like, I'm going to go and do it with you because it followed my big sister. Like, how did that even come about?
It was actually the reverse.
Yeah.
Wow.
Shell has been into acting, an actor for a while now. I have been more of just a creative person in general. And so when Shell moved to
New York,
I
moved to New York in 2015, and I just wasn't getting the opportunities that a young aspiring actor like myself should have gotten.
Okay.
But I think it was around the time a lot of web series were coming out, Insecure came out, and Tanya has always been a person that she helps with the school projects, So we just started talking and we were like, let's just try it one day. And
we were like, what we were realizing was with Shelley being in New York, there weren't, and even here before she moved from South Florida to there aren't a lot of opportunities, it felt like, for people of color, especially women, especially Black women. And so it was something like, okay, she's going to go to New York, see if there's opportunity there. But the same thing, she was being met with the same kind of, just obstacles or whatnot. And so we were like, let's just try to do something ourselves. Like Shelley said, we saw a lot of web series at the time. We were like, let's try to write. Like I said, I've always been creative. I've always been a good writer in general. I wrote a lot of poetry, stuff like that. I do a lot of art or whatnot. And so we were like, let's just try. And so that's just kind of how we birthed CapiShe Productions and just moved on from there and just really got into all of the things of becoming a filmmaker and being self-taught and being independent or whatnot. So, yeah.
I think it's interesting because people from Florida, Miami, they will literally leave to LA or New York to go follow their dreams.
Yes. A lot of people we were finding have moved to Atlanta. So that's a new now like Black Mecca for Black creatives, and a lot of TV shows are coming out of there too. But we're like, okay, for the rest of us who can't move
or don't want to move,
that too,
right?
Because I moved, and it's just you hear about people living in their cars. They're in like hostels, living with people, and just to get a break. And I feel like you shouldn't have to leave where you are. Make opportunities where you are, because your family, your support system is where you are. Not that you can't make other opportunities other places, and sometimes it does work out for people, but for actors, for artists, it's just so hard to leave the support, and sometimes you need that support. Sometimes leaving the support is better, but also a lot of us have that support that we want to be able to stay home and be close to our families, and something a film coming right out of your hometown. Come on, like I was in that. Like when Bad Boys is down here, everybody's like, yeah, I was trying to be in that. And who doesn't want that? Yeah,
I feel that because I've always, my man or my family's like, oh, you're gonna be this, you're gonna be big, da da da, and I'm like, but would I have to leave? I don't want to leave. Like I have my siblings here, my nieces and nephews. I've always wanted to watch them grow, but Miami, I haven't found it to like have so much opportunity, which is so. And then you want to create the opportunity. You want to be able to bridge that gap, but again, it's so hard. So you guys have regular jobs. You ladies have regular jobs, and you have a production company. How important was it for you to not be like the struggling artist?
To be fair,
we're of Jamaican parenting, so we're not.
I'm Haitian. The islands is in us.
We already messing up.
But to be fair, it's still a struggle. Like you said, you're looking for opportunity. There's a lot of us. So being the people who are trying to build the table is always going to be like the struggle. How do we get this? Who's going to help us? How do we learn how to do, like, it's still a struggle in that it's going to take time, take work, take our own funding, all of those things. But I think it's just that we feel like it's meaningful and that it has a purpose, and that we are wanting to be those people to create opportunities for the people on the same level of us, and then people who might be coming behind us. And so what we found was us just asking people and just connecting with people. There's a lot of people still down here who are acting, filmmaking, doing all types of things that want to have network, want to have opportunity. And so that's where we are able to kind of build with each other a little bit and just kind of reach across the table of how we can all be filmmakers down here and just kind of not have to lead, but still create opportunities for ourselves. So it's still a struggle, but I think it's, like I said, it's growing. Exactly.
Yeah. Within your production company, do you guys offer like any acting classes? Because y'all was acting on Single Taking Others, which we're going to get into. We're going to break some things down about this, like, which I'm waiting for season 2.
So as independent filmmakers, because it's just us, right? We are in the process of building a team. It's very hard, and that's just across the board, across the board, to just find people who want to build without having the money up front. You know what I mean? Like, we're not in a position to have, 5 employees at the very least. Like, so a lot of things we're doing ourselves, but it's one of those things that's like, we have to just keep forging, keep pushing, keep moving forward, that kind of thing. So we don't have a lot of services that we have for other people. Like, we're not in the position where we can, hey, I'm going to buy your short film and produce it for you. Right now, we're kind of focusing on just doing some of our own in-house work so that we can continue to, again, make network connections and those kinds of things, so that we can build a team to eventually be able to offer things like that, to be able to produce other people's work, to be able to offer classes, those kinds of things.
So how are you finding the people?
But in-house, I'm the acting class the instructor. It's me.
I can see that.
When we're on set, it's me.
Yeah, it's
me.
So
how do you find people, or like, how do you find people to say, okay, I have this role for you, like, I think you would be great for this? Or are you putting out like Craigslist ads and saying, hey, I'm doing a short film, you ain't gonna get paid, but trust me, this is gonna be it?
Yes.
Honestly,
we use a lot of family and friends.
Yes.
Okay.
We used a lot of our friends' other contacts,
right.
So we let them know, like, hey, this is an indie film. It's a real project, because a lot of times you're met with projects that don't ever really happen. So it's a real project, but we got you on food and credit.
Right. We're going to get you another kind of way. But the money... And you know what? It's fair for people to say, hey, this is not for me, because they want to get paid. We understand that completely. And so there are people who we were seeking out and they were like, nah. And that's cool. Like, that's fine. But there are also other people who are really... Not to say that those people aren't in it for the art, but there are people who are willing to give up their time, give up their talent, just for the sake of, getting their acting chops, being able to be in some kind of production, being able to be on set and just get the feel of how it is to, work on a smaller type of set or work with a smaller type of crew. So we use a lot of friends and family. We use, what was the websites?
We use Backstage to try. You can put like ads out on there to try and get actors. That didn't yield us anybody really great.
Well, one person was Jeff.
No, we use
keep it 1,000 with us, Shelley.
Okay, I don't remember. It was a lie. So
some ways are better than others. Word of mouth, and usually those people that come and say, "Hey, I really want to be a part of this." Those are people that we usually lend our roles to, because once you come to us and you're like, "Hey, I really want to be a part of this," it shows that you're trying to be there.
Yeah,
you're more likely to show up on time than somebody that maybe answered the ad and didn't want to send in their audition tape.
Yeah. So we ask actors also if you know any other actors who are interested, are available. So we did that too. Like Shelley said, word of mouth, and just trying to... Most people in any kind of niche know other people doing the same thing that they're doing. So we kind of try to get new people too. Like, hey, you have any friends who are acting, who want to act, who might be interested, let us know. And we did, we'll reach out to them and let them know what our projects are.
Yeah. So I personally am going to refer somebody to you guys. My girl, Nina, she is amazing. I don't know if she's going to say yes, but she been sending audition tapes, and she's from Miami. She's really from the Bronx, but like lives in Miami, and she like floats. Yes. She is beautiful, amazing, firecracker. So I'm going to refer to her to y'all.
Send her information, yes.
Oh, for sure. I got you.
Reach out. We don't mind, reaching out and sending our information and just seeing if it is a fit.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. Okay, so with PGP, right, we're a faith-based community. How strong and how is your faith tested when you are building a project of this magnitude, like single taking others? Does it waver? Do you really talk? What does it look like when you're talking to God? Lord, what is that like individually? What is that like for you guys?
So for me, I would say that one of the things that I feel like was a repeated theme was if God put this on your heart, then it's something that you should do. And I feel like we both kind of felt like we have been talking about this story we started filming it 2022, right? End of 22 into 23, because we released it at the end of the year. But we started writing it during COVID, really, during 2020, something like that. So it's been, 3-4 years of us having this story kind of just sitting there. Should we do it? Should we not? How are we going to do this? How are we going to, and I think it's just a matter of us saying, let's just hit the ground running. Let's just trust God. Let's just pray about it and see how everything turns out. And honestly, with every obstacle, because there was definitely obstacles, some way we made a way. So, not we made a way. God made a way.
God made a way, okay?
So we definitely just kind of just trusted each other, trusted God, and just was we were very much sitting in the pivot. If we need to pivot, if we need to figure it out, whatever it is, we're just going to figure it out and pray about it and hope that there's a ram in the bush type of thing. You know what I mean? Like that Lord would provide kind of thing. So that's just how we kind of approached it. I don't know if you have.
But I also think looking back, throughout like just growing up, he's kind of prepared us for this. Just because of the many hats that we've had throughout this project. It's just been like he's prepared us knowing how to make sets, knowing how to. We started with making smaller projects before we got to bigger projects. So there's been little steps that he has brought us through, and we've been able to get to this point where we get to sit down and talk with you, because you enjoyed our project. Like
we definitely said our like motto is like there's no L's for losing, it's L's for lessons. Like we learned lessons all throughout starting this and even prior to this, because even with our church, like we're heavily involved with our church. We do a lot of Vacation Bible School, and I don't know if anybody knows, if you're a church goer, if you're a church kid, you know about that stuff. But like we do like the artwork, we do the set design, we do all of that stuff. And even those little things helped us when it came to our project, because, okay, we can't get a location, so we need to make a set. We need to figure this out. And so little things like that. And like Shelley said, even our smaller projects, everything just kind of prepared us to make it to do this. So
I love that you said that. Like everything that you're going through or have gone through is to prepare you. Like I have a 10 to 5 job where I work for events, right? And with our company, we do a lot of promotional events for a liquor brand, Moet Hennessy. So my supervisor has everything. I'm talking plants and chairs and this and that in her warehouse. And even this background right here, like she was like, oh, I'm going to throw it away. I was like, one woman's trash is another woman's treasure, okay? And I got on my hands and knees and built this new set. So it's like, I kept saying to myself, like when the hard times occur, I'm like, okay, God has been preparing me for this. I've been at this job. It's here for a reason. So I love that you say that everything that you've been going through is to prepare you.
Yeah.
So let's really get into Single, Taken, and first of all, Miss Monica. We got to talk, Miss Monica. Because everything about this series was so relatable. Like, I'm talking from your relationship with, the Christian boo, who is just like, boundaries, baby, boundaries. I don't want to drink this wine. I don't want to make it, like, boundaries. To Monica and her situationship. To Brittany and finding out that she really didn't really have a solid foundation in her relationship. To the promiscuous friend. I can't remember her name. Forgive me. Kara. Girl. So everything about it, like what inspired this series? And how personal was it to your real life situation?
Honestly?
Yes.
We literally drew from our own experiences and our friends. Yeah. Like, the girl chat, the chat group.
It'd be hot.
It's always what is going on today. You know what I mean? And that's just how it has been over the years, to be honest. Like, we're both married, but still, even prior to us being married, and even just our friends now who are still single, just some of the things that you just hear, college stuff, like we just drew from everywhere, to be honest. It just felt like, okay, let's put these scenarios, let's put some of these decision making, let's put some of these bad decisions, let's put it all together.
So good. So freaking good. Like I was literally locked in. And Shelley, I love how you would always like turn to the camera. What do they call breaking the fifth wall? Isn't that like the term?
You have those internal thoughts.
Exactly. Like, yeah. There's always that, like you're there's a lot that you think about when a situation is going on. And it's like, we thought it would be a fun way for the audience to kind of get some of your internal thoughts that do cross your mind. When your friends are telling you about things, you be like, girl, why is she still with this nigga? Like, why is she still dealing with him? But you still gotta, you still gotta be the supportive friend. You still got, so it's just like, we just thought it would be a funny way to like get some insight from Taryn and how she's feeling about her friends and just, all of it.
Taryn was a real one, okay? She was like, this opportunity should have been mine. I'm trying to have fun. Taryn you were so wrong for sending that text message to that man talking about when we get married. I almost threw the phone.
Listen.
Who did that?
We wrote it in, and I was like, no, I think you.
I did it.
She did it, and I was like, because we've done it. You're so mad, and you're secondhand embarrassed for her because you sent that text, and you were like, no.
Why did I send that? I've had personal situations where I'm like, I have, jumped the gun. Like, essentially, I've jumped the gun. Like, thinking that, you're just trying to play it off and you're trying to... No, baby, you shouldn't have been...
Karen said, when we get married. I was like, whoa. But there was also so many lessons. Like, I love how it felt like the guys, not all of them, but the guys set their boundaries, even down to
Carrie?
The light-skinned dude? Gary?
Yeah.
Yes, how he was like, I don't want to sleep with you for the first date. Like, men have boundaries too. Like, I absolutely love that you guys touched on that. Yeah. Even down to you having the conversation with the pastor. And there was something, I don't have my phone on me, but there was something where he was basically saying like, God is trying to challenge you and shift you through this person. Mm-hmm. So you can see it from a different lens because he doesn't want this. So maybe God's trying to show you like, you don't have to do this. And I just loved that. I loved how there was so many different messages throughout the conversation. When you were sitting down at the lounge, the day party, and you were thinking to yourself like, oh, I don't really know if I want to be here. I thought that was so powerful.
Yeah, we wanted to show some growth, like that sometimes some relationships can change you. Some encounters with people can change you to help you grow into be a better person or a different person or whatnot. We also, again, touching on the guys, we wanted to show the guys
have feelings too.
Right. The guys always feel like, oh, y'all always put a girl, like, right. Like, the guys are always the problem. And we wanted to make sure that there was a balance that, like, there are men, obviously, who have boundaries, have things that they are also their own goals, their own, growth. And sometimes it is us. Sometimes, we can
be toxic.
Man.
Toxic sometimes.
Right. So we wanted to make sure we touched on both sides because both sides are true.
Yeah, I thought it was so powerful. Now, let me ask you, Shelley, was your character just kind of going with the flow? Did you really want to change? Like when you were sitting down at the lounge and you were like looking at what was happening, did you want to change for you or did you want to change to keep this man? Because I could not decipher that the whole time. I'm like, is she trying to change for him? Or
That's a great question. I think, Taryn, I honestly think her eyes were more so opened to the realization of the other side of what Christian people can think of going out. Because, like, I feel like, because we talked about it, we like to say like we're the millennial Christians, because our parents were the ones that went to church from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
From Friday to Sunday. They had Bible study on Tuesday, choir on Thursday.
Man.
So they were the ones that, they did church. They could recite the Bible back and forth to you. So now you have us millennial Christians who were like, yeah, we want to go to church, but we also want to hang out with our friends and go to the club too. Yeah. So I feel like her being there now, she's just like seeing it through a different lens. It's not that she's trying to change, but his words have opened her eyes a little bit, taking the wool off her eyes a little bit to see that maybe this is not exactly where I want to be as the person I'm claiming to be.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have people in your life that will lift you up to realize that you don't need to be here. Like, this is okay. Like, if you want to stay there, that's fine. But if you want to get to where you think and where you think you believe God wants you to be, that's because that's what you're saying. That's what Taryn is saying, that she wants to be a better Christian. She wants to do all these things. Then you might have to change some of the things that you're doing. So I think that's what she was seeing in that moment where everybody's gyrating and it was all good last week, but now this week you're just like.
And I think in general we genuinely have growth. Like your friends may challenge your ideas, your love interests may challenge your ideas, your pastor, the people that you hold close to, like people will change how you think, and so that now you have to, in a way, figure out, what do I think now? Like, if they're challenging me with these new ideas or a different way of living or whatever it may be, what do I now what do I now believe? How do I now pivot with that information? Because we all grow. The person that you are at 18 is not the person that you're going to be at 30.
For sure.
Because you've lived life. There's things that you've encountered. There's things that have changed you to be a different person. So I think Taryn was, in a way, in that moment, or not even in both times, with the club and with talking to Josh at the end, like, okay, I'm realizing I might be able to. I'm opening my eyes, like Shelley said, to a new way of like moving forward and having more growth when it comes to my relationship with God, when it comes to my personal things that I'm doing. So I think it was genuine. I think she was genuine. She was kind of doing it for the man too, but I think she was still genuine in that.
It was like, let's not get it twisted. She want that man, you know.
she ready to be bagged and tagged and married. Okay, yes. Eggs cracked.
The real test will be when we see Taryn next season. Did she move forward? You know what I'm saying? Because that will tell us, was it a genuine change or was it really because of this?
Can't wait to see that. I can't wait to see if Miss Monica. Because we've all been there, or we've had a friend who was so stuck on a man. And I'm all about giving the girls some advice. So what advice would you give to a girl who is in a Monica's situation? Like, she is fixated on this guy. It's been years. There's no title. It's always an up and down. What advice would you give to a girl watching this? Like,
well, see, here's the thing. I'm not the best person because, you know,
Shelley's a very girl. Nip it in the bud.
Give that because you need it.
You don't need to be doing this. Like, what, baby girl, elevate yourself.
Yes.
But the nice part of me would be like, realize what you love about yourself. You know, like, you have to love you first, Monica, before he can love you.
I mean, it's true. At the base of it, it's self-worth. That's just really what it comes down to. A lot of us are seeking things from somebody else that we should be doing for ourselves. And in Monica's case, for whatever reason, she is addicted in a way. You know, some of us like toxicity too. If we really think about it, there were times when we enjoyed the toxicity. And I think that Monica, once you mature though, once you realize, okay, this is beneath me, this is, if he wanted to, he would, those kinds of things, or I should want this, I should want more for myself. I feel like that's when you start to be like, okay, I don't need Nick, I need to turn my, attentions to someone else. And so for someone like that, I would just say, you need to figure out your self-worth. Like, you need to be worthy to yourself.
Yeah.
You need to know who God made you to be and know what's beneath you and know what's not supposed to be for you so that you can move it along.
Yes. Start humming and shaking back and forth. I love that because you need that. Like, that is a sisterly love advice. Like, you need that. That was making me so mad. And then she was about to ruin her job. Like, she eating donuts at the table. I was like, girl, your coins?
And we do that. We take it all. We put it all on our shoulder. And some of us carry it better than others. And you'd be like, girl, okay.
Wake up.
Yeah.
I gave you 2 days.
Yes.
You have to
I'm
have
very
those
much
friends
that.
aren't going to just let you stay in those bad spots, those dark places. You have to have somebody that's going to snap you out of it. And Taryn is that person. And I am that person for a lot of my friends too.
Yes.
I'm the person that's going, girl.
I'm more like Brittany, like, guys, can we support our friend? She needs a little bit of help.
I was like, Brittany
aren't able to digest like a Taryn. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, okay, it is what it is. But I also understand, like, I say this to myself, like, what are the facts? Like, forget how I feel. What are the facts about this situation? This, and this. I always say, hit yourself with the facts. Not how you feel, not how he makes you feel. What is he doing for real? What are you doing for real? And let that be the guide for you to move. Like, if you want this and he's not doing that, that's a fact. You know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta make sure that you're looking at what it really is and not what you think it is or what you feel like it is or what you feel like it could be. Like when Taryn says to the camera, like, we always sit with people's potential. And
I think that's a thing that I remember we had a conversation with a friend one time, and he was actually like, a lot of women sit in the potential of a good guy. Like those 2 weeks that you guys had that were magical, and now you've had 6 months of hell, and you're just remembering those little those little moments where you had where it was just beautiful, and you're like, how can we get back to that? Right. And a lot of us sit in those things, women and men sit in them for way longer than we need to. So
yeah.
So when are we getting season 2? Because y'all left me on a cliffhanger. Monica is now making out with her no good ass ex, and then stood up the good brother who helped her save her job. Hello. So I need to. I'm not. And if sorry y'all, this is a spoiler. I'm gonna make sure I put that in the description. Spoiler alert! Like if you haven't watched it, go watch it right now. But when are we getting season 2? And don't give me the Sheree Whitfield answer. Because, I was all up and through the YouTube like, no, they didn't. No, they didn't need me like this.
Well, what we can say is we're writing right now. We're writing season 2.
And it's good.
We love it.
I'm sorry. It's good.
We love it. Like, we're in love. So, we have sat with these characters for a while. We talk about story all the time. What should this person do? What should be the drama?
What's organic?
Exactly. Along with the drama, what is organic? What feels like a natural progression for this, that, and the third? We've introduced new characters, of course. And so we are writing, is what I will say. Mm-hmm. We are working on trying to figure out the funding. As independent
filmmakers, talk about it.
Figure out how to fund this thing. Mm-hmm. And so we will say that it's in the works for sure.
Okay, praise God. Praise God.
We definitely want it to come out. We're working on it for sure.
Yeah. So so let's talk about the funding and the business part of it. Like, tell the people, because I have no shame. On my website, it has donate on every page. You hear me? And I am not, because it takes money. Like, you can put in all of your money that you want, but it really takes like other people's money. Okay. So how can people like support you and pour into you? Like, what can we do? Because we need these characters to, like, we need this. This is your time. If God was like, say what you need to say right now, because you don't know who's going to see this, what do you need and what does that look like for you?
So I would say 2 things. I think on our website, and we should have checked before. I didn't, but I believe on our website you can donate. But even if you can't donate on the website, if there's no donate button, we'll double check for sure. We sell shirts that are like CapiShe Production paraphernalia. We have STO shirts up there now too as well. So single take and other shirts available. All of that goes directly into us filmmaking. One of the things that we're planning on doing again that we did for the first season was crowdfunding. Yeah. We are gearing up to do another crowdfunding campaign for season 2. We're hoping that with the success of season 1 and people really being, being engaged and really into it, that a donation of any sort, $5, $10, $100, whatever you can give, because we know we live in Biden's America at this point, and it's hard out here.
Inflation is real.
But giving to the campaign, and then if you also wanted to reach out to us directly, that's also an option to reach out. But to be fair, I know people are like, what can we give that's not monetary? You can help with food.
Yes.
Okay.
We have to feed the people that are on set.
Yes.
If you have locations or people that with businesses, that would also help us, because we have to film in different locations, film on different sets, things of that nature, or create the sets ourselves. But either way, if you have businesses, if there's a business that you have and maybe you want to support us by product placement, that might be something that you could donate to our project while we also put your things in our second season. So like any way that you feel would be a way for us to move forward. You get something, we give you something, because we obviously understand that like everything can't be for free, right? But if it's not just monetary, like I said, locations, food for the cast and crew, equipment, that would help too, just depending on what we're doing. So anything like that. We're trying to connect with other businesses, just because if you want to sponsor us, we get
yes.
We want to do that. We are right now also fiscally sponsored from the Heart Productions. They are a film making company who support independent filmmakers. So if you wanted to give a donation and get it as a tax write-off, you could donate to us from the Heart Productions. It would go straight to us, but then you can also use that like you said, that donation as a tax write-off. So there's a couple of ways. I mean, any way that you see fit, we will definitely.
I'm going to do my part because I want to see season 2 happen. And at the end of the day, like, we need entertainment. I don't care if it's comedians. I don't care what it is. We love entertainment. And, you know, all the women that I've had on my podcast, I always say they have that je ne sais quoi. And y'all had that je ne sais quoi. Like, your series had me laughing. It had me on my toes. So I'm going to do my part, whether it be monetary or not. Like, I'm going to make sure I do my part because I need to see this happen. So,
and like, comment, and subscribe is always a great thing as well. Those are the things that if you don't have anything like Tanya just mentioned, those things would always help. Sharing the project helps a lot.
For sure.
Help. Everything helps. So whether you think it's a little bit of thing, like I'm just going to show it to my friend, that view helps because then they might share it to somebody else, and you never know who knows who. So
and to be fair, like what I was understanding about YouTube, Shelley has explained these things to me because I'm not that savvy, but like, when we have to fight these algorithms, it's really the sharing and letting people know helps our reach go so much farther than who we know, our friends.
Yes.
So even just like we said, season 1 with the views that we had, I mean, we were shocked.
We thought we were gonna get like 5,000.
Right. Views. We were ready for the slow burn. Like, okay, it's gonna be, you know, every little, but to see that people were sharing it, liking it, commenting on it, all of those things also help us
outside of our family and friends. We were like, whoa,
that's even bigger. Trust me. I know. I'm building mines. I'm building my YouTube, and it's definitely every comment, every tag, every subscription, all of that helps across the board. Like,
absolutely.
So okay, so you guys have won was it an Indie Award that you won, or Sundance?
We've submitted to a couple of small film festivals. Yes.
Please, let's talk about that.
We've had a couple of wins. We won best local web series for Urban Film Festival, which is a film festival here in Miami. We won best web series for Black Art in Film, which is a film festival in Tampa, and Exception Fest, which is another film that was down here. We won best web series and the pitch competition, and then we just got selected for Miami Web Fest. Yeah, we just got selected for Miami Web Fest, which is a festival specific for web series down here. So that's another thing. So we're sending it out to as much places as we can, and just hoping for the best.
Let me tell you something. God don't let hard work go unnoticed. Okay, so just get ready, stay ready. And I have no doubt. So I want to ask y'all, because there's a few things that I want to get into, but what are your top 3 favorite movies as individuals?
My favorite movie, hands down, you mad? Say Anything. Say Anything, which is a 80s rom-com, okay? I love 80s movies. I also love rom-coms.
They were great back then.
But Say Anything, I just love that. Y'all know it too, because y'all see John Cusack with the boombox radio outside the girl's window. That's what that's from.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so Say Anything. I'm a big movie head, so I'm gonna watch that. Shelley, what's yours?
I don't know if I have like a favorite movie, because I love movies, but
I know. I do too. I just love that movie.
Probably somewhere around, like, because I love musicals, so Moulin Rouge.
Okay.
I love it. Hook. I don't know. I just love feel good movies. Yeah. Just like
I just watched Hook. Someone was like, if you want to tap into your inner child, watch Hook. And when I did, I felt so good and felt so playful. I gotta watch it with my nieces now. Have to. But then it got kind of like
I love just like being just staying in your imagination and just, I don't like movies that are going to weigh me down forever. Like, God, I just left that. So like, I want to go watch something, like watch a comedy now.
Yeah. So let me ask you this for Hook, right? Because I kind of battle with this. So my niece is, I have a 13-year-old niece, a 9-year-old, a 5-year-old niece, and my nephew is 10, right? When the part where Captain Hook was talking about suicide, I was like, "Ooh, will they understand this? Like, is that
I didn't understand it when I was that age. I was so engulfed in the story of it that when they started talking grown-up talk, I wasn't paying attention to none of that. But I mean, kids are different now. True. So I mean, it's hard to say, but the story is the story of Hook is good right there. So I don't feel like that will weigh him down. Yeah.
Okay, so based on the movies, right? I'm going to rewind a little. I want to know more about you two. I know you're sisters, you're Jamaican. Like, you love Hook and you love Say Anything. Like, what was your childhood like? What was it like? Did you grow up in Jamaica?
No, we grew up here.
No, here. Okay, so what was your childhood like? Because I find it fascinating that you guys are now in the film industry. So what was your childhood like growing up? And feel free to be as personal and vulnerable as you like or not.
So our childhood, honestly, we used our imaginations all the time.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So I wouldn't say we're not poor or anything like that, but middle class, but we weren't able to get like the Barbie dream house. So but my mom would do, she would get us like the furniture to the house. So like, okay, we got a dining room set, but where am I going to use it at? Right. So we would literally take the boxes to make walls, and make a house, and we would just make different houses, like different layouts, and that, so that started our critical thinking. This girl over here, she built a computer out of cardboard boxes.
Whoa.
Like, she literally cut out and made a keyboard, a screen out of card. She colored it. Like, when I tell you the girl could draw, she could draw.
I love drawing. I really loved. I used to read a lot of science books too. Like, I was really into science and really into, like, I like to understand things, like really break the things down, which helped because being independent filmmakers too, like when I talk about, so I do a lot of the writing, but I read all the books, I go to all the seminars, I read all the articles. This is me. Like,
and that's how our childhood.
One of the things we used to do too when we were kids was like we used to go on adventures. That's what we used to. That's what we used to say. We used to ride our bikes.
What was the little sleuth?
What's that girl? Trachtenberg, Harriet the Spy.
Harriet the Spy. Wow. Yo, we are
there. Streets girl in the neighborhood.
We used to be on our bikes a lot. We used to do a lot of people watching. We used to do a lot of just making up stuff, just like with our friends in the neighborhood, and just like doing stuff like that. Like, childhood for us, we had fun. Yeah, we was outside. We used to have a lot of fun and just be.
Would you say that were you like, because it sounds like your parents let you be free spirits and just adventurous. Would you say that, or were you more structured?
Like, Jamaican, you got to make sure you can only do those things if you read your book, your grades are right. It wasn't. I mean, I would say our mom definitely let us have fun and explore, but she was also working, so she wasn't necessarily here to stop us from going places that maybe we probably shouldn't have gone at 10 and 12.
But to be fair, I mean, even just we're in our 30s. Like, even when we were young, it was a different time. Like, you were outside with your friends. Like, and we were outside with our friends. Like, the kids in the neighborhood, we knew a lot of the kids on our street. The parents knew each other as well. So there wasn't this like hesitation to let you be outside. So we did a lot of stuff on our street, like just playing basketball, doing stuff together. If we're riding our bikes, we just did a lot of stuff like as a group. So the exploration wasn't as how kids are now. Like, we in the house, we got video. We never had video games. We didn't have those kinds of things. So it's like, we were outside. Like,
it was definitely different. Like, I'm in my 30s too, and
going to the park wasn't so like anxiety ridden for a parent, because that's what kids were doing. So that's where we were at. We were at all these parks around here, like everything. Like, we were having fun. Yeah. So.
Oh, I love that. Okay, so I also want to ask, right? Because I've been wanting to talk about this for a little while. Being in the film industry, there is, and I'm sure you're familiar with her, China McClain. Mm-hmm. She was like a Disney star who, I guess, walked away from the industry because she felt it was very demonic and satanic and all the things. Mm-hmm. How intentional are you when you are making or creating art? Like, how intentional are you when it comes to the message and what's being projected out there? Because we know a lot of programming is happening right now. So how intentional are you?
I think we're very intentional about the things that we put out, especially as Christians. We have to be more intentional about the things that we say, because we're looking at it from a different eye already. We're looking at it from a Christian eye, so we have to be intentional about the things that we're saying, because we want it to be glorifying to God first. So it's just like especially when we're talking about the girls and the life choices that they're making, we always try to make sure that we reach the person that may not be going to church, like, because we like to come in a relatable way. Yeah. So we want to try and make sure that the things that we're saying is clear, of course, so that there's no gray areas, because I think the devil's in the confusion.
Right.
And just to make sure that we're making sure that the message that we're trying to say is being heard, because a lot of times there's a lot of fluff around the things that people say, and the fluff will get you confused, and then you can't really understand what they're really trying to say. So you have to be intentional about everything that we're saying, because it's so important for the things that are going on in the world, and the things that we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, that you want to make sure that we get the word out, make sure that we're not giving misinformation, and we're standing truth in our faith.
Yeah. We talked a lot about being honest, and just being, even with your faith, like, this doesn't mean life is easy, doesn't mean that we're always making the right choices, that we're always doing the right things. And so we wanted our work to reflect that. We wanted it to be like, yeah, sometimes I cuss, or sometimes, I did sleep with this guy, like, whatever it is, we're not always perfect. And that there's a journey also going on to your walk in your faith, your walk with Christ. It's not always clean. It's not always cookie cutter. You hear the cliche things, which are true, but there's application that still happens on the journey. Like, pray about it, take it to God. Those things are obviously true, but if you're dealing with something, God also takes you through time to get you to be a different person, or to learn these lessons or whatnot. Or there's lessons that you're going to have to repeat, those kinds of things or whatnot. So we wanted our work to reflect honesty and reflect true life. We felt like there's an area for Christian, what's the word I want to say, topics or stories, where we felt like there's some of it that's very like, God is love, and make sure you pray, and da 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 da. It's this very, surface, and very like, once you turn to God, everything will be great. And it's not to say that it won't be, but again, like I said, there's a process behind that. There's a journey behind that. And there are times where you're gonna not be so clean. There's gonna be times where it look kind of dirty. There's gonna be times where, no, I don't want to talk to God. Like, those are things that are true about your journey sometimes, and other people's journeys, other people's walks. And so we wanted to make sure that we're being realistic, we're being real, we're not just being cookie cutter or surface level with things, that like growth takes time, and that your decisions ultimately will lead to who God wants you to be. But sometimes you're going to have to pivot. Sometimes you're going to have to U-turn. Sometimes it just takes a little bit of some time. So that's what we wanted to be honest about, like Shelley said, and be true about what we're saying. But we also wanted it to be relatable, reflective in those things, so that people could see themselves in the work that we're doing.
And that God is still with you
all the time.
So. Yeah. Because I think even in movies and all the things that are happening in the world, people talk about God, 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 but no one's really saying Jesus. And no one is really, like, what God are you serving? Like, so you have to, and that's why I fell so in love with your series, because you did touch on God. You did mention Jesus, and you, like, it was very clear. It was very clear in a lot of the roles. Yeah. It was like unapologetic, and I just love. And I just wanted to know, because when China came out with her TikTok video and saying, like, this is the agenda, like, it's very clear. It really opened my eyes a lot more, like, oh my gosh. And I have to be mindful of what I'm watching and what I'm listening to. And not everything is going to be cookie cutter. Like, there's been times where I really doubted God, and I'm like, I ain't talking to you today, because I feel some type of way. I'm mad,
I'm mad, or I'm unclean.
Correct.
Yes.
Those are real parts. Those are human parts. Those are things that we go through. And those are things that God knows that we go through. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Right. So we talked about Christians, or people who have professed their faith in Christ as Christians, claim to be Christians, who are working in the industry. And it's like, I think that, one, there has to be room for us to tell stories that are real. Like you said, Shell, everybody doesn't go to church. Everybody doesn't know Christ. And so there are some things that maybe different, that okay, this Christian person is being this actor, being this character or whatnot. But these are also true stories that need to be told. But I also feel like when it's time for you to talk your faith, talk your thing, you have a platform now. You have people's ears now because they're glued in, paid attention to your movie, paid attention to your TV show, and they're willing to now hear the things that you have to say. And so I commend, China for using her IG as a way to tell her faith and a way for her to talk to other Christians and a way for her to share her faith. Same thing with like Yvonne Orji. She's on Insecure, right, as Molly. Yes. And this could be, you can have whatever opinion you want to say about her character, but at the same time, when she gets on these platforms, she talks about her faith. She talks about being a virgin still at her age, as people like to, whatever. But she still uses it as an opportunity to talk about Christ. She still uses it as an opportunity to share her faith. She had a book that she talked about how God bamboozled her and how she got into this whole thing. So I feel like we're trying to do the same things. We want to be obviously entertaining. We want to be able to share truth in what we're saying, but we also want to be able to get on platforms like this and be able to say, God is still with you. Jesus still loves you. We gonna all figure it out. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to figure it out, we can do it together. He will do that with you. And so that's what we were trying to do too with STO, by giving Taryn a lane as a Christian person who's going through relationships and trying to figure out what that means. Like, just because you're with another Christian doesn't mean that you're going to get married. Like, those kinds of things still happen. And even just with the other girls, Taryn is also trying to figure out how she can, in a way, share her faith with her friends a little bit, because we all have friends too who may not be Christians as well. We have people who are still maybe on a struggle or still, on their own way to finding out who God is for them in their lives. And so we wanted to, like I said, just be reflective of that and be honest in that those are things that actually happen too. So
yeah, I mean, I could see myself in a lot of the characters. So
all of them, really.
The responsibility that you guys have exuded on here has been felt and seen for sure, so I appreciate that. So we are going to wrap up, but I want to know, like, what's next for you ladies? And the sky is not even the limit. Like, what is next for you guys?
What's next,
I mean, so season 2, we want that to be next.
Yeah.
Because it's so good.
Yeah, we love it. Like, we just love telling these stories about these girls.
It's really good. But we do have like little projects that we obviously want to do as well. We really want to bring back web series. Like, we want to bring back good TV,
good content,
content that is for us Black people, as people of color. It's not so good. Hard.
Honestly, it's like you want to have. We talk about having Black content, right, or Black-led cast, whatever you want to say. But yes, Black people, and not in these like tropes, and not in these like the trauma of slavery, and you're the best friend only, and just we want to see successful Black people. We want to share in the human experience, because we all have to deal with this Black, white, blue, whoever, and so that's why we say making opportunities for people of color, but sharing our stories with the world, because we all can relate to it. So we want to continue to make more stories like that. We want to network with other filmmakers and other people who are doing the same things that we're doing and wanting to reach across the board.
And grow in South Florida, make more of a reach across the table type of thing, so that we can be on the map and that people won't have to leave. Right. And that we can really solidify South Florida as somewhere where we can film, make it the next little Hollywood. Yeah. Well, maybe not Hollywood, because they have an issue over there. But,
okay.
The next something.
Right.
So that it could be down here, and you can really just, build this, because it's such a fun thing.
It is.
Film is so good.
One of the other things that we're trying to do with our YouTube channel is also just share some of the learning lessons that we had along the way. So we're trying to make some content on for indie filmmakers, what we did on our sets, the things that we think people should know. Just participating also in the information that's out there. We don't want to be gatekeepers by any means. We don't want to make anybody feel like, okay, nobody told me anything, because there were a lot of things that we had to learn on our own, and we had to go seek the information. So we want to also be a part of people who are educating in that way and just sharing their experiences. So we're trying to,
give back.
Right. Just share as much as we can.
What we used to say early on is, like, we don't know what we don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, and those are a lot of the lessons that you will learn. Mm-hmm. And, maybe we can help you not learn some of those lessons, because we already got that hit for you,
Okay.
Oh, we got that one for you. So just let's try this one. And it's just giving back to the community, back to our community and our area. So, yeah.
I cannot wait to see what comes up next with y'all. I will be glued in wherever I can insert myself. Please use me, okay?
Listen,
please.
We gonna call
Please, we'll talk.
You better show up on set.
Okay.
You memorized now. Come on now.
I've never done that before, but if I could, help me. Okay, help
me. And that's a lot of our cast. They've never done it before, but they're like, wow, I would love to try it, because who gives you the opportunity to do these things? Like, you always see movies over there. Like, let's make them over here.
We had a lot of first time. We had a lot of people who were pursuing acting or like new to acting, but didn't have any opportunity to be a part of something. And so that was one of the things that we were
give you the opportunity.
Yeah, we were grateful that they were giving up their time, and we were thankful that they thought of our project to be a part of it. And so we appreciate that. And so we tried to, like Shelley said, doing the practices, doing the rehearsals, and trying to get people more comfortable with their skill set and all of those things. Like, those are the things that we want to do. We want to be able to have those opportunities for people to shine, because even with a lot of them being first-time actors, they did it very well. They did
so good.
They did a very good job. The story came out very well. And these are the things that we want other people to have opportunities to see. Even us, to be fair, like, we did a lot of things that we had to just rely on ourselves. We edited this ourselves. This was the first time us, editing such a major project. But again, even with that, we had help from our director who's done a lot of edit. Like, we are wanting to pour into people as other people pour into us, because that way there's growth that happens, there's community that happens, and so that only makes us all move up together. Exactly.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love this. I love y'all. I love the fact that you are sisters, Black-owned company in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Okay, shout out to Pembroke Pines. I used to live in Pembroke Pines. Yeah, I used to live in Pines for a few years. So shout out to Pines. Listen, I was going to mention lock your door, that little whole shenanigans, okay? I was pissed. I literally lock my door at every turn. And if y'all don't know what I'm talking about, you got to go to the YouTube channel to see what I'm talking about.
Go check them out,
Yes,
some of our
please.
But yeah, like I said,
you can see the growth.
Exactly.
I love it, though. I love it. So shout out any of your channels, your Instagram, and everything, y'all, will be in the link in the description. But shout that out, and let me know. Shout it.
Huh? What?
Go ahead, Shelley. Shout out your Instagram, your YouTube.
Black Tinka.
Oh, okay. That's your personal. Yeah.
My personal, and then together we have CapiShe Productions.
It's CapiShe. Is it
CapiShe underscore?
You know what? It's funny. It's like, I'm sorry. We never memorize our IP handles. Mine is Tanya _W0603. And then CapiShe Productions. Is it like, I think it's CapiShe _Productions. Productions.
I think it's CapiShe underscore. But don't worry.
It's everywhere.
Yeah, I'll have.
Because we're searchable now.
I got you. No.
You could be searchable, guys. You could be searchable too.
We have IG. We have TikTok. We have a website. Again, if you want to purchase shirts, again, that all helps us with funding our projects. And yeah, I think that's all of it.
Yes. Well, thank you, ladies. You are welcome back anytime. And we're going to double back.
Whenever you want.
We're going to be doubling back when season 2 happens. Right. I hope you guys. I can't wait. I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it.
One little thing. There's going to be a trip.
A birthday trip.
Okay.
You see? You know everything go down on the trip.
Thank you. I can't wait to see it. Literally, it had me on a cliffhanger. So, ladies, make sure you show these beautiful women in the comment section some love. Let them know that you enjoyed this episode and your favorite gems that they dropped. And as always, Queen, make sure you grab the free ebook, 10 Tips to Personal Development, and the daily devotional. And as always, just love yourself. Later.